vegan pho. So good. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Kale Sandwich Show. I'm Raj.
And I'm Dee.
And today we're going to be showing you a awesome recipe for Vietnamese vegan pho.
My favorite, I love pho.
Yeah, aka beef noodle soup, if you don't know the name.
But no bones in this recipe.
No bones in this recipe. We hope you guys had a good new year. We know we've eaten a lot of junk, you know.
I don't know if you could call vegan food junk, because any vegan food is kind of good for you, right? We ate a lot of chips.
Chips, cookies, french fries, cakes, you know.
Yeah.
So this is a good recipe to start off 2016 on the right start, full of healthy vegetables.
I mean, look how colorful it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this recipe, you're gonna need...
For the stock, we have quite a variety of things here. Some apples, an Asian pear. This is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's called a CHAYOTE, and it kind of belongs to the gourd family. It kind of tastes like a melon, I would say. I don't know. It's a very Asian kind of vegetable though, so if you can't find this, it's okay. You can eliminate it from the recipe, but it does taste really good in the soup stock. So if you can find it, try to find a CHAYOTE. Turnips, leeks, carrots. We have another pear and another apple. So you can use whatever vegetables and fruits you have. It's really similar to our teriyaki sauce video, where the more fruits and vegetables you put into the stock, the more flavor and the more depth you'll get.
We also have some shallots here. Now normally you could use onions, but we don't have any onions, so we're gonna use some shallots today. You're also gonna need cinnamon sticks, ginger, star anise. This is a very common Asian spice in Vietnamese cooking, and this is an essential ingredient to the pho.
Yeah,
so make sure you get this star anise. You're gonna need cloves as well for the recipe.
For the meat, we're gonna be using mushrooms, and we're gonna be using bean curd and tofu. You can use whatever kind of tofu that you can find. We have fried tofu here, and we also have puff tofu here. These are bean curd sticks. You usually find them dehydrated and you have to rehydrate them. So we have them hydrating for about an hour now in some lukewarm water, and they've become nice and pliable. And for the mushrooms, we have two varieties of mushrooms that we're using. We're using king mushrooms, which are kind of a denser mushroom, a bit more tooth to them, so they taste more like a meat texture.
You know, they're a really good meat substitute for vegans, so even if you fry them on their own, king oyster mushrooms are awesome.
Delicious. And we have oyster mushrooms. These are like little ears, I don't know, like ear mushrooms. They're delicious too. So we have two types of mushrooms. We're gonna fry it up with a bit of leek and 5-spice powder. 5-spice powder is really common in like Thai, Vietnamese, Cambodian kind of dishes. You can find this in most grocery stores. It says here it's annatto, cumin, coriander, cinnamon, and clove. So they're very common kind of spices that you can find if you want to mix your own, if you can't find this in your grocery store.
And last but not least, you're gonna need some Asian herbs. It tastes really good. It's not only a garnish, so you got some Thai basil and other various assorted Asian herbs, and some bean sprouts. So first you're gonna take a pot and fill it up with 5 liters of water and bring it to a boil.
This is gonna make a lot of soup. It's gonna make about 10 servings, 8 to 10 servings. So if you don't want to make so much, you can have this recipe.
You do have this recipe.
Yeah.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our shallots and our ginger, and we're gonna put them on we're gonna roast them. So for this part you can use a mini toaster or your oven, but we're gonna use a panini press, so you're gonna roast these to bring the flavors out. Now before we throw our shallots and our ginger into the panini press, we'll roast them. We're gonna cut them in half to bring out the flavor and get the grill marks on them. You can use onions for this recipe as well. So while those are charring, we're gonna just chop up our vegetables and prepare them for the stock. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna chop them up in half, basically peel a couple of them, and then throw them into the pot. All our ingredients are chopped up and prepped and ready to go into the stock. Our grilled shallots and ginger. And we're also going to take our spices, our star anise and cloves. We've got a little disposable tea bag here.
If you can't find a tea bag, you could also use some cheesecloth and just tie it with a little string.
So we've thrown in all our ingredients into our boiling stock. Once you've got all the ingredients in there, bring the temperature down to a medium to low heat, and you want to simmer it for about 30 minutes. You're going to add salt later on to taste.
While the soup is simmering, we're going to prepare our tofu and our mushrooms, and we're going to combine that with our 5-spice powder with our chopped up leeks. Nice chopping skills, Rach.
Thanks. Fruit Ninja taught me. So next we're going to take our fried bean balls. That's what it says. It's going to be a lot of good flavor.
This is also deep fried goodness, but not puffy. It's a firm tofu.
So before we start cutting this up, we're going to rinse this in some hot water just to remove any excess oil because it is a little greasy. So after you've rinsed your tofu, we're just going to cut it up into strips. This was going to be our mock meat part of the dish. This is their meaty part of the dish. And as well with our firm tofu, it's going to be the exact same thing. So once you've drained your bean curd, we're just going to cut it up and add it to the tofu we chopped up. You just want to chop it up into about 2 to 3 inch pieces.
So we're going to toss our bean curd and our tofu in 5-spice powder and about a teaspoon of salt. So for our mushrooms, the king mushrooms, we've just cut them into about 1/2 centimeter slices. And then our oyster mushrooms, we just kind of broke it up into about this size here. Okay, we totally forgot to mention this, but you need noodles. So we have just some dried rice stick noodles.
So these have been soaking in water for about 20 minutes. So now what you'll need to do is you'll need to prepare a wok, which we're going to use to stir fry all the tofu and the mushrooms in.
If you don't have a wok, you can use a pan.
You can use a pan.
Don't worry, we're Asian, we have woks, but if you don't have one, fine. Before we stir fry our tofu, we're going to check back on the stock and put some salt into that to flavor that. So we have about 3 tablespoons of salt here that we're putting in. Just adjust to taste because we're making a huge stock pot of this for 8 to 10 servings, and if you do half, you probably only need like 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, just add it, taste it, see how you like it.
So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil into the wok, add our leeks, and let those go for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're nice and golden. And then we put in our tofu, and we're going to add about 1/2 cup of stock.
Once the tofu is complete, we're just going to transfer it to another pot, and we're going to use that same exact wok for our mushrooms. So we're going to add about a couple tablespoons of oil to the wok, throw in our remainder of leeks that we chopped up earlier, and then we're going to toss in our king oyster mushrooms and salt to taste. We're going to stir fry this for about 10 minutes. So our stock is complete. It's been simmering about 30-40 minutes. We've tasted it, we've added our salt, we also finished our fried tofu and our fried mushrooms. The noodles that we've had soaking in water for about 20 minutes, we've drained. We've got all our garnishes ready here, and we just have to put it together. So we'll show you guys how to put it together, and you guys can start eating.
So we're going to take a handful of noodles, put it into our sieve.
Now this is a strainer that you can pick up at any Asian grocery store, but you don't have to use this and strain them in any strainer that you have.
You have a pot of water going as well, with about 5 inches of water in there. Okay, I'm just going to bring this over to the boiling water now.
So you're going to just boil the noodles for about a minute or just when it turns soft. It really depends on how long you were soaking your noodles for. Just like pasta, if you like it softer, make it softer.
We got our noodles in our bowl, and we're just gonna build it with our tofu. Build it however you like, as much tofu as you want. mushrooms. Pour the stock in, but not the chunks.
Yeah, just gonna use the soup. And there you have it, guys. Beautiful vegan Vietnamese pho. Delicious. On the side here we have hoisin sauce, which is an Asian barbecue sauce, and we have sriracha sauce. This is traditionally always eaten with pho, and you can dip your tofu. We also like to squeeze some lime wedges, so we're just gonna squeeze that in.
And I'm gonna crack some pepper into that as well.
And now it's ready to eat.
This is a labor of love. There is a lot of steps to this, but it's so worth it. It's delicious. And just make yourself a huge stock pot of it and, you know, have it for a week. I don't know about you guys, but I love Thai basil. How is it, Rush?
It's so good.
It's delicious.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. We hope you guys give it a try. You guys won't miss pho anymore because you can make it. It's guilt-free.
No animals in here. No bones.
And of course, share this recipe with your friends and family. Show them how easy it is to eat vegan. It doesn't have to be rabbit food.
You don't have to sacrifice taste.
No.
This tastes just as good as the real thing.
Yeah.
Just as good as I remember it, at least.
It does.
Yeah,
It
it's
tastes
really good.
just as good.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you want to see more recipes just like this one. And we'll see you next time. Bye from the Kale Sandwich Show.
Bye.
Let's see.
Oh.